Yeah, this is going to be a real wild video. I had a really interesting conversation last night with somebody that really believes in the aliens. And there's so many people believing in the alien lie. And frustrates the hell out of me, because it's like, go from one lie to another lie to another lie, and when are you ever going to learn the truth? And there's so much around that is manipulating you into believing this friggin' lie. And there was one other post, sounded like this really enlightened, peace and love person that felt that she could somehow convince me that what she's saying is right. And it's like, where's your logic? And she had zero logic. Zero logic happening. Other than, well, when you're ready to receive, then you'll know for sure what's going on. And it's like, yeah, if you are in an emotionally stressed experience, you are ready to receive whatever the hell will save you. And like, the mind is really powerful. It has the ability to split into many different personalities. The brain will save you in whatever way, shape, or form it needs to save you. And it will make aliens look real. But it's in your own freaking mind, and you don't know it yet. And yet this person is, a enlightened being and found peace through aliens. And says that I'm just not ready to receive. And it's like, yeah, I didn't lose my mind. When I lose my mind and I need to see an illusion that saves me, then I'll feel real peaceful like you, but anyways, it was a conversation of, okay, how do you see your world? And what makes you right and what makes me right? If you have one experience that tells you beyond a doubt aliens exist, and yet I've had another experience that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that aliens don't exist, which one of us are right? And I am not seeing any evidence, no hard evidence that can't show you that it's the human condition. It's not an alien. Like, I can prove it. I can bring science to the table, yet these guys can't. And all they can do is well, I've had this experience. And it's like, yeah, haven't we all had a lot of experiences? And now WikiLeaks is sort of opening, oh, it was just an illusion. None of it was right. We've been lied to. So what you think is real may not be as real as you think it is. So this video, I'm going to try to explain a little bigger picture than I don't think many people can comprehend quite yet. Picture the real you is hidden inside this body. This body, this vessel that I choose to sit inside of, is an expression of what I am inside. If I feel pain inside, my body will reflect that pain. I will experience that pain through my body, but it's the soul inside that's actually doing the suffering. I can make this body look in whatever shape I want it to look. My DNA, which is the thoughts and chemicals that I experience, will create my habits, my twitches, everything that makes my body move and choose and react, and everything within this vessel will be because of what's inside me. So my outer body is a reflection of what's inside me. If I'm depressed, if my inside core is not exactly happy, then my body will tend to look at the ground. My mouth tends to go down versus up, like a smile. I mean, everything that's inside me, you can read other people if you can read body language, because the body language is the language of what's inside the soul. So, the body is like an extension of self. The further away you go from self, then if you detach yourself from the outside experiences, then the further away you go from self, the more you are stuck in an illusion. You think that outside is more real than what's real from inside, because you'll never ever go into self as long as you're always looking at the outside world. It's more or less you have no control over the smile, and yet you have every control over the smile. You know, you think that everything in your external world is controlling whether you're smiling or not, yet your inside world is the one that's really choosing whether you're going to smile or not. Are you going to look at the glass half full or the glass half empty? What you choose inside determines whether you smile or not, but you will think all of the corruption and all of the bullshit, all of the external world is the one that's controlling your smile. So the further out you go from self is time. There's not that much time between self and the body, but there's an awful lot of time the further distance you go, like out into the universal world, the planets and the stars. The more you go away from self, the more time you will experience. And time is really interesting. Time is something, look in your mind and see where your mind, yourself, usually travels to. Is it in the past? Are you always thinking about all of the past experiences? And then is your mind traveling in the future of, well, what will my life be like in 10 years? Very rarely are we paying attention to what's happening right now, right now, right now. Because that's all there is right now. But we are being pulled away in time. We're actually time traveling every time you think of the past or every time you think of the future, because it's not making you focus on self. Now, science has proven that, and anybody that has gone into any type of problem solving, and it could be making any form of technology, anything that's outside of our external world. If you want to know science, if you want to know what's truth, then what the scientists do, is they try and understand the external world and compare it to the internal world, which is the quantum world. The quantum world is an emanation of self from the quantum, the very, very smallest cell. And that's how they start atomic bombs and all of this shit. They're looking at everything from the smallness. And if you can compare, if you can see the similarities, if this is happening out in our bigness of our world, then it has to be happening in the smallness of our world. And if you want to understand the smallness of our world, if it's just too small for you to understand, then look at it from the bigness of your world. So it's like, do you want to understand yourself, the smallness of everything? If you want to understand yourself, then look at your external world, what's around you. How do you experience your world? The more you can see outside of you, you'll see your own reflection of self. if that's making any sense to you at all. And science has proven so much science by using that concept. So when you want to understand, is there anything out there? Yeah, there's everything and anything out there, because it's coming from your imagination. You will create everything in your external world to confirm exactly what's inside you. And that's why I'm kind of really against these alien things, because at the end of the day, what's the goal? What's the purpose? Why do you need to believe in that? And it is a choice. Everything is just a choice. It's a decision. It's a direction your mind chooses to go into. And at the end of the day, when you look at the conversations of why people need to believe in aliens, is because they think something out there is going to save you. There's an alien there that's going to save you. And it's like, nothing outside your external world is real. It's all a friggin' illusion. It's all in your own mind. And it's a matter of, what do you want your mind to believe in? Do you want to believe somebody's going to save you? Have we not played that game out for 1,000,000 billion years and found out nobody's going to save you? God didn't come down and save any child that's being sexually abused. God didn't come down and save all of the people in Africa that have been starving for 1 billion years now. God didn't come around and save any slaves, That has never happened, God has never ever showed up and said, I'm saving you. The only experience that we've had is, if you don't do it right, we're going to destroy the world. And it's like, then we make up these stories that, God didn't like what you were doing, so he wiped out the whole friggin' planet because God's an angry God. And it's like, no, we destroy our own planet. And we have this concept that God helps those who help themselves. So with that same mentality, God shows up when we show up. We have the DNA of a God. We are just in the, we're immature gods. We don't know our talents yet. And we have no teacher. We are our own teachers. We are the student and the teacher, which is the whole freaking game. I've talked with God. I can show you exactly how you can talk with God if you want to. And some of the biggest things that I've learned from God, one of the biggest things is, he said, you're on your own, kid. This is a lesson you need to figure it out yourself. If I tell you the rules of the game, and the whole idea is for you to figure out the rules of the game yourself, then doesn't that sort of defeat the whole purpose of the game? You have to develop your own skills. You can't be told what to do. You got to figure out what to do. Otherwise, it's going to all be about control. You don't want somebody telling you what to do, but you can't take responsibility yourself. You're looking for somebody to tell you what to do, but then when somebody tells you what to do, you bitch and complain about being told what to do. So the game of somebody trying to control you from the external world is like, that's what you're looking for, is you're looking for somebody to control you. And, people that are believing in aliens, first of all, they all have the same thing in common, that they don't like being told what to do. Yet they're searching outside in the bigness of the universe, looking for some kind of entity that's going to control their lives, thinking that it's going to be a good thing. And yet, these enlightened beings that are out in the world, there's, good and bad there too. It's like, well, if they're enlightened beings, how come they haven't figured out how to end war? Why are they still at war? Why are aliens still at war? How enlightened are they? They aren't. You're seeing it from your own friggin' mind. And if you can't see how to solve war here, you ain't going to see an alien being able to solve, any wars out there. So it's, the world is not round. The planets out there are not what you think it is. You have a media, you have a NASA, you have that, telescopes that tend to view your world, you view your external world through the eyes of the guy that's insane looking at it. And, if he can go and make a good story, you'll believe it. But nothing is as real as you think it is. It's all a freaking illusion. we thought the planet was flat, and then you found it's wrong. Now we're finding out that the world is not even as round as we think it is. It's dynamic. Peace out.